think we might need to consider.
But after all, it was designed for children and not two travelling idiots. Visitors have reported hearing her cries echoing throughout the hallways of the castle. So, to share a bit of trivia with you. But little did we know that we are being lulled into a false sense of security. Well, that should have been the end of this episode, but... Stu heads for the public loos just at the edge of the car park.
I must admit, Irish porridge oats is hitting the spot for me, and it sets me up for the day.
There's some warming in this weather, isn't it?
Welcome back to an episode that sees us leave the Netherlands and take... Well, it's time to leave the Netherlands after a great 8 days, and we decide to head back to France. Well, yet another peaceful park-up.
Take the second exit now.
We're continuing to follow the coast towards Derry.
Your destination is ahead on the right.
We've seen that somewhere else, haven't we? But our first stop is at a castle that we saw on Google Maps, and it's just up the road. And like many castles in Ireland, it commands a great piece of real estate. This is Dunluce Castle, and once again the admission prices are very reasonable. It looks like this one had once quite a little community going on with the connecting village.
They do a film first, which is good.
You can dress up, but I declined. We love a good model, and the background history is really well presented.
Right, she's the way I got to come down.
It's a bit rugby cup.
We completely failed at the puzzle, but after all, it was designed for children and not two travelling idiots.
Here, where red-hot volcanic lava forged one of the world's most awe-inspiring coastlines millions of years ago, a story every bit as dramatic would later unfold. Welcome to Dunluce Castle.
After a good video that outlined the history, the castle then beckoned us. And it was made even better by the morning sun. Dunluce Castle sits on the edge of the hard outcrop of basalt rock in this area. The main part of the castle is accessible by a bridge. The steep sides around the fortification is an obvious natural defence. The castle dates back to the 13th century and, like many buildings, changed hands many times, but it was once owned by the chief of the Clan MacDonald of Antrim. In one part of its history, the Spanish galleon ship Girona was a part of the Spanish Armada, and it was wrecked in a storm on the rocks nearby. The cannons from the ship were installed in the gatehouses and the rest of the cargo sold, the funds apparently being used to restore the castle.
Some of the stones were picked out from the causeway, you could tell by the shape of them.
As with all buildings, it has a legend, and this one states that at one point part of the kitchen next to the cliff face collapsed into the sea. And according to the legend, when the kitchen fell into the sea, only a kitchen boy survived. And the legend goes on stating it's haunted by the ghost of Maeve Rowe, thought to be the only daughter of Lord Macquillan, who fell to her death when the kitchen collapsed into the sea. Visitors have reported hearing her cries echoing throughout the hallways of the castle. unfortunately for us today, we heard nothing. The town may have contained the most advanced housing of its day in Europe when it was built in the early 17th century, including indoor toilets which had only started to be introduced around Europe at that time. And here we are in the 21st century, regressing, and we are using a bivvy loo in Harry.
This was apparently the earliest refuge at Dunluce. It's a rock cut-out hiding place.
So, to share a bit of trivia with you. In 1973, the castle appeared on the inner fold of the multi-million selling Led Zeppelin album Houses of the Holy. The castle appeared as Snakehead's hideout under the name Raven's Keep in the 2003 movie The Medallion, which starred Jackie Chan. And yes, exterior shots of Dunluce Castle were used in the Game of Thrones.
So was gone.
It's lunchtime, so we just continue to travel west with a few target parkups. Just driven through Portrush, but we didn't stop. We're moving on. I think we're going for a walk. At least we are it's weird, we're getting out and walking more, and it's winter, than our other trips.
I fancied a mobile home once, but I'm not sure I'd want to be in one place all the time.
We've worked out why we didn't walk so much. Stu's back was bad, and also I wasn't very well at the beginning of the island trip. I wasn't very well at the beginning of the French trip either, so we're on Portstewart Road. Don't know why that amuses me. It does. How do you feel about being in Portstewart? Do you think you get the keys? Portstewart is the next town, and again we pass through. The roads in and out of Portstewart have large properties maximising the coastal view. Some new, some older, and some well under construction. We always fancied a sea view for a home. Luckily, a temptation averted. So Castlerock is next on the list, and we think we've identified a nice lunch stop. Missing the first few spaces as there are sand dunes blocking the view, we managed to get a space on the end of the row. Only one slight adjustment and we have found the perfect spot. So, as if one no parking overnight sign wasn't enough, there was another one next to it.
We're going for lunch. You can try your new...
My new cheese.
Your
what
new
you having?
cheese. You haven't bought me anything, have you?
You got cheese?
To get some ham. I'll have cheese and Branston again. I'm a one-trick pony at the moment.
Do you want ham?
Yes,
Well, you obviously do because you mentioned it.
I don't care.
And a sweet little girl learning to ride her bike. I think it'd be quite hard to ride it on the sand. It's a crazy amount of fun.
That's a light one.
Is it?
Mm.
God, I never put anything like
I
that
know.
on.
Really. Nice.
Mm.
Would you have it again?
It tastes a bit like Derry. Very easy.
How much would you be prepared to pay for it?
I don't know. £1, £2.
It was $1.50, I think.
Oh, that's all right.
Can you feel? Because I do one without the black peppercorns. We'll just do. You want the black pepper?
It's called
Charleville.
Well, it was the only one they had that was reduced fat. You're not having burgers tonight. Not for the third night, really.
You having chicken?
Chicken.
Well, we could have had if we'd gone to McDonald's.
Chicken pasta. Oh, no.
We
Dodged a bullet there.
we managed.
That bluette is charged up again. We've got all the way up to 5 bars.
That's good.
It's probably in the upper 20%. I shall edit tonight because I need to get. That'll be my first of 4 videos I need to get done.
Yeah, it's not ideal, is it? I just seen on the road, but I didn't have any
Then
choice.
I've got to upload them somehow. Be my next challenge.
It's a stunning beach, isn't it?
I didn't even look to it else. I just thought somewhere to have lunch more than anything else. But we might as well go for a walk if it's so nice.
Yeah, with the weather.
The wind's actually quite warm, isn't it?
Yeah, I was cold this morning, but it's weird.
Yeah, I wasn't as bad as you, but I know what you mean. It was quite biting. Actually, it's really warm. There's hardly any wind. I think we're so used to it being so windy since we've been here.
The sand's beautiful, isn't it?
It's incredible, yeah.
We're just at, I don't know if it's a town or a village actually, Castlerock. We were just come for lunch, to be honest, and we just happened to saw the sign and we came down to it. Found this beautiful beach. We were going to go to a National Trust place this afternoon, but the weather's so nice and the beach is so nice, so I think this is one of the lessons to learn with Ireland we found, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is especially out of season, I think, is if the weather's good, go do something,
Yeah.
because it'll probably change within an hour,
Yeah.
and make the most of it. So change your plans, which is what we're doing, really.
Yeah, and also, you know, the weather's meant to be nice tomorrow, so we can make the most of going to the National Trust place tomorrow, so just getting a bit of everything, aren't we?
Tomorrow we're going to go over the border into the Republic of Ireland and start doing the wild Atlantic way from the north.
Yeah.
And try and connect back up where we left off.
Yeah.
is the target. I don't know whether we'll do that or not in the time because we travel so slow, but
Well, we've just said, haven't we? We just have to come back for a third time.
yeah.
Which means we would have spent, if we come back a third time, we'll have spent over 6 months here. Which is great, isn't it?
Yeah. You could easily come back again.
Oh yeah, definitely. Are you allowed to come on this beach in a car?
So I'd say yes. Derry's down on the left there, and where tomorrow we'll go. Well, I don't think we may stop in Derry for a bit, but we're actually going to get through and get onto the Atlantic Way and start really travelling north. Had a nice little stop off in Bushmills last night. It was just at a car park. And I think that's the other thing we're gradually getting used to is, you know, not every park up is a stunning location, a stunning view. We went down to the local pub there, had a drink, spoke to the locals there. In fact, we met some Americans in there. One of the people used to live in Birmingham where my mum used to live. It's a small world. So we had a good chat, and there was another couple there who were also in vans while camping. They were just doing Northern Ireland. But nice little atmosphere.
A welcome place tree for dogs who have been caught short to take advantage of.
Well, that tree's blown a long way in the storm from somewhere, or maybe it's got washed up. It's quite leafy, so I think it's probably got washed up in the tide.
And dog walking seems to be such a social activity. You can swim here, but there was a red flag against bathing here, but that was due to it wasn't due to the undercurrent or anything like that. That was down to algae, pockets of blue-green algae residue and scum. Yeah, so but that was lifted in, I don't know, quite a few months back, I think, in 2023.
I've only ever heard of that in like still water, like ponds and lakes. I didn't realise you can get it on the coast area. So this is the River Bann that flows into the sea at this point. like the beacon's had a bit of a hard life. That's Portstewart over there. We drove through there earlier. And beyond that is Portrush.
It's a perfect afternoon with the sun lowering and the seas relatively calm. But little did we know that we are being lulled into a false sense of security. And we have also taken our eye off the weather app. This beach was awarded the Seaside Award in 2020 and it's 7 miles long. I was trying to get that fact to Stu, but he's walked on, so you'll have to hear it. Waffle Wendy needs to give somebody a fact. Cars are permitted on the eastern portion of the beach all year round. Dogs are allowed 1st of June to the 15th of September. I take that back. It's a kilometre. Bloody 7 miles, it's 0.7 miles, you idiot. Time to head back and to start looking for a parkup for the night.
It's not like those French ones, are they? Put the gate down, literally. The train goes through.
Several days later.
You have to be in the middle.
You have arrived at your destination on the right.
No. Wow. Yep. Manannán or Manon, also known as Manannán Maclair or Son of the Sea, is a sea god, warrior and king of the otherworld in Gaelic mythology, and he has one hell of a view. But if you're a king or a god, then I guess you can have whatever view you want. We simply sit and watch as the sun goes down, but the wind is picking up. And we notice a weather front in the distance.
It's getting closer, a rain cloud that's approaching us.
Well, we'll just ignore that, shall we? We've started tea quite late tonight, haven't we?
Yeah, well, I need to get some editing done. I've got to get 4 videos done, otherwise we'll have a gap. I don't produce 4 while we're away.
We've still done a lot. I've done some narration.
Yeah, it just
We've
takes
been-
longer than you think. I've got to do some narration, yeah, so I've got another couple of hours tonight.
Oh.
There's a storm coming in tonight at midnight. It'll disappear, okay. We're a bit exposed on top of it.
Yeah, we're right on the top of a big hill.
Yeah.
There's this morning's porridge.
Which is going to get washed up.
No, I haven't done the dishes yet.
So we're just behind on all sorts of things, but
You see, you wonder how you can be so busy in a van, but it's,
I'm trimming over things as well, but to be honest,
yeah, I'll do the dishes.
you can do the dishes out.
That's my nighttime job.
Not bad for a quick tea. There's chicken, pasta, cheese, tomato, onion, and also some herbs and that just bring it to life.
While Stu's editing, I've got all this to wash.
Get on with it.
In a cup full of water. Well, no, not quite, but so
She's weaving.
we haven't done the dishes at all today. So
Oh, yesterday.
No, we did. Didn't we? No, okay, we didn't do the this is very unlike us, I must say, but as you can see, we didn't do the dishes yesterday, apparently.
We just keep picking up knives and forks and wiping them.
Yeah. Yeah, we just dig out what we need and re-wipe it. This is very unlike us, so we'll be back to normal tomorrow. I don't really wash out the ridge monkey, I just warm it up and then wipe it out. It's only grease, really. And as you can see, it clears up quite nicely when you wipe it down. We let them drain. When I wash them, I just wipe it with this, and then we let them drain. We've stopped using a dishcloth. We have got one, but we stopped using it because we found it was starting to smell, even though we changed them, and we've no need. We just let all that drain now, and then it'll be dry. It's more or less dry now, actually, once I've wiped it with that blue cloth. Well, that should have been the end of this episode, but the wind's picked up and the blackout blind starts to billow. Harry starts to rock.
Go ahead, put the strapping on. Well, it's that at the moment, so it's
And how? What's it getting to?
let's have a look. By 11:25. It's just orange, not even dark orange. By midnight it starts to 1, 2, 3, it starts to dissipate.
And it's impossible to sleep as the storm is not subsiding. Stu is cutting some videos.
Move.
And it's like being next to a jet engine. This is so much worse than Storm Isha was. And I genuinely are worried if it's possible for Harry to flip over.
It's what?
I think we might need to consider.
It's a bit more dangerous to move now than.
We're now right in the eye of the storm, and we feel it's far too dangerous to move, and the strap and spade trick that we tried a few episodes ago goes on. We doubt it'll do much, but it's at least helping our mindset.
So it's 2 in the morning. We're just being woken up violently, really, with the van shaking left and right, and loud noise from the skylight where the cover we have that slides over was bellowing, basically, from the air pressure. We're obviously, it's a case of being right place, wrong time situation, to be honest. Although the weather radar is only showing 40-50 miles an hour, but I think we're in such a bad place it's gusting up. I've just had to put the strapping on again. I'd taken it off earlier because I could see the outer skylight flexing. I had to get Jane to hold it at one point while I was getting the straps out and that, because it was violently pulling up with the pressure and that. So we're having really broken sleep. We've probably only had a couple of hours up to this point. Really been watching the radar, wondering whether we should move.
decided that's probably more dangerous than try to last it out. And of course, we've been using the weather radar, assuming it's going to go, but it seems to go and then quieten down. We think it's gone, and then it comes back again. But we'll get through to the morning, I guess. Really tired.
Can you help us by liking, subscribing, and above all, sharing us with your like-minded friends?